want to be a part of it. So what changes can I make in my own life to fight climate change? So stories like this, made me realize that people inherently want to do something, because people kept coming to us, Cool the Globe went from an individual quest to a platform to then a citizen-led movement for climate action.
Okay, and how did the name Cool the Globe come in? And what gave you the idea to start an app? Because a lot of people are doing Insta Reels, Instagram posts, Facebook, YouTube, and so many other social media platforms they use in order to create an awareness.
Yes.
But what gave you the idea to put this as an app which everyone can use and make part of their everyday life to calculate the carbon footprint?
Right.
Brilliant. How did that come out?
When I began this journey, I realized that, in order to do anything, achieve anything at all, not just climate action, I need two things. I need a clear target in front of me, and then I need to be able to measure my progress on that target. So we see a lot of information around us about climate action. It's become a very big topic now. But even then, just that motivation is not enough. I need an achievable target. I need a framework to reach there. So these things may exist at country level, organization level, but individuals don't have any support system to keep them on this journey. And so it just started from me first looking at whether something like this exists to help me in my journey of climate action. And I really couldn't find any which would make climate action easy and accessible to me in my day-to-day life, and which would also quantify the impact of the small actions that I'm taking. Because if I don't see the impact I'm making, then I don't get motivated to keep at it for a longer time. And so when I couldn't find anything else, then we started thinking, then we must do it ourselves. And at the time that we made it, we really were very skeptical about whether or not people would use it, because climate action in maybe at that time was not that as discussed as it is today. But then we thought, someday there will be a need for this, and when there is, a platform like this should exist. And so essentially we just started doing it because I couldn't find anything else like this at that time. So that was the motivation. And then essentially, what the app also does is that as soon as someone comes in, they get a clear monthly and an annual target of reducing their own CO2 emissions, and a very achievable, easy target. It just involves you taking simple actions maybe for 3 days in a month. And then people can also see the impact of their small day-to-day actions. So for example, if I did not buy 2 pairs of jeans today, I can see that I saved 10 kg of emissions. If I did not use AC in my house for a whole day, I can see that I saved 5 kg of emissions. But then, I also started thinking, what a lot of people think, what difference can one person make? But we believe that when there are many people like us come together, then our collective impact can be very big. And another reason for creating the app was also to show the collective impact of many of us, many of citizens like us coming together. And so we kept a global meter on the homepage of the app, which will show in real time the emissions avoided by everybody combined. And so far we've had citizens from over 100 countries come on the platform, and they've collectively avoided over 1 million kg of CO2 emissions by taking simple actions in their day-to-day life.
Okay, now this is brilliant. It sounds magic. How did this entire concept come into life? How did you breathe life into it? And what all was the idea that went behind it? Because the power of the collective, I think all of us can feel it now. And so, how did this thing of starting at an individual level but taking it to a global level? And I need to log into the app and stay as a member forever, or is there a process? How does the whole thing work? If you can explain that.
Right, absolutely. So the process was very simple. When we started making the app, one of the first goals in front of us was to bring all of these climate actions under one umbrella and to have one metric of measurement to show impact. So a lot of time went into that. We had already figured out different activities we could do. Even in the app today, you'll see 100 plus simple actions a person can take. But then we wanted to quantify that. So then we decided that we could just show people the CO2 emissions they're saving by taking these actions. Coming to that was a big journey in itself. Sort of quantifying individual climate action, and then essentially we realized that how can we sort of like I said, one individual doing something seems very less, but how can people come together and make impact? So for that, the global meter would have to sort of in real time collect everybody's savings and put the target as a community. So that also was a very long process, and that is something unique that other platforms are not doing, showing the collective impact of individual actions. So coming to that was also a process. So essentially how the app works now is that we're very clear that there are certain platforms that show your carbon footprint. But what we wanted to do was we wanted to sort of get whoever comes to face with the app should start taking actions right away. So we wanted to drive action through this platform. Even the entry is very easy. You just open the app and it starts right away. You don't have to answer any questions, or there's no delay. So as soon as you come in, you see your own target and you can start taking actions right away. So another very key thing that we want to do is we didn't want to focus on telling people their CO2 emissions, which we also have a carbon footprint calculator, but that's not the focus. The focus is on avoiding emissions. The focus is on starting to take actions right away. So that's essentially how it happens. A user can see a host of simple day-to-day things they can do. They can decide, which one sounds easy for them, which one sounds fun for them. They can see the emissions they can avoid by doing that. They can record, if they've already taken an action, they can record that, and they can see the progress they're making on their user meter, on their monthly and an annual target. And then another thing that we want to be very clear on, that it's a citizen-led platform. Every user is also, when I take one action, it inspires 10 other people around me to also take action. It sort of can create then a wildfire of transformation. We as a community also get targets to avoid our emissions. Everyone on the platform has a collective target, and everyone on the platform has also target of the number of users. So when I'm taking actions, I naturally feel inclined to tell 5 other friends about it, and they also want to be a part of this. So far, the growth that we have seen has been citizen-led, has been people telling each other about this. And that's also because that's how we wanted the nature of the app to be, citizen-led.